Hello everyone and welcome to distance learning courses via online DP platform held by the Provincial Directorate by of Aishaq, supervised and directed by our Honorable Supervisor Mr. Ahmad Lahalawa and presented by Sumia الجامعي, an English teacher. In this lesson, we will spot the differences between present simple tense and present continuous, which is also called the present progressive. Let's go back to work. Okay, our topic for today is mainly concerned with comparing present simple to present continuous. There are three main parts that we are going to discuss for today. Part number one is introducing the the forms of the present simple tense and the present continuous, comparing and introducing the forms. Part number two, spotting the various uses of the tenses, and part number three is mainly devoted to practice exercises. You have probably learned them separately. You have probably learned present simple and present continuous separately and independently. Now you will compare them and learn the differences between both tenses. Shall we begin? So let's start. Okay. First, let's see. Basically, we would like to focus on the structure, on the grammatical structure of each tenses. How normally we will focus on how they differ in terms of their grammatical structure and what these tenses even look like or sounds like. Okay, so let's go back to what. Okay, so learning objectives. One of the main or the basic learning objectives is setting the forms. So I'll just give you an overall view of both tenses because I already know that you have an idea about the differences in terms of use and the form because you have already studied the tenses before. So I'd like to shed light on the difference between them, okay? And I go backward and I read the chart. I suggest when I read the examples, I suggest you re-say them again because it's good for you to speak or to repeat things out loud to get used to use them properly and to apply it yourself. So look at the present simple tense. The present simple tense is called is a very simple tense. It is formed from a subject. It's plus verb plus a complement. So subject, verb, complement. So for example, I drink water every day. I drink water every day. I is a subject pronoun. Drink is a verb. Water every day is a complement. So it's a very easy, very simple tense. I drink water every day. You drink water every day. We drink water every day. They drink water every day. He drinks water every day. She drinks water every day. It drinks water every day. You can see that we have added an S to the verb with subject pronouns he, she, and it. Okay, now let's move to the negative form. Negative form, I don't speak fluent Spanish. You don't speak fluent Spanish. We don't speak fluent Spanish. They don't speak fluent Spanish. He or she doesn't speak fluent Spanish. It doesn't speak fluent Spanish. Okay, you see now there is a difference in auxiliary, don't and doesn't. And part 3 is the interrogative form of a present simple. So for example, we can say, do I speak fluent Spanish? When I ask question, we need an auxiliary do. Do you speak fluent Spanish? Do they speak fluent Spanish? And do you speak fluent Spanish? Does he speak fluent Spanish? You see the auxiliary does. Does she speak fluent Spanish? And does it speak fluent Spanish? This is all about the present simple in terms of grammatical structure. It's composed from subject, verb, complement. Don't forget to add an S with he, she, and it. And the negative form, it could be an auxiliary don't or doesn't, okay? And just bear in mind that sometimes not all the verbs take an S. Sometimes some verbs with special cases take an ES, especially when the verb ends with a CH, SH, O, double S, and X, and the Y that is preceded by an accident, the Y preceded by a consonant. It's always plus an ED. Like when we say, for example, she brushes her teeth twice a day. Brushes. He fixes his bicycle every weekend. So Tom does the shopping at the weekends. Remember that all the verbs that end with these letters, I repeat, double S, CH, SH, the Y that is preceded by a consonant, and O, they are always end with an ES, with he, she, and it. Okay. Now let's compare the form to the present continuous. Let's compare. Now look at the present continuous. The present continuous, it's a tense that is composed from a subject pronoun plus auxiliary to be plus verb plus ing form plus complement. Look at the example. Now I am drinking water. Look, now I am drinking water. I am drinking water, you see? Okay, I am drinking water. I'm talking about an action that is taking place at the time of speaking. I am describing an action that is happening now. I am drinking water now. You are drinking water now. We are drinking water now. They are drinking water now. He is drinking water now. She is drinking water now. It is drinking water now. Negative form. I am not drinking water now. She is not drinking water now. They are not drinking water now. Negative form. Am I drinking water now? Are you drinking water now? Are we drinking water now? Are they drinking water now? Is he drinking water now? Is she drinking water now? And is it drinking water now? Okay, so this is all about the form and the difference in terms of grammatical structures between the present simple tense and the present continuous. As you can see, the difference in form is very clear. Okay, now let's move and let's discuss and focus on the various uses of both tenses. I need now to clean board, okay, and discuss the difference in terms of uses, okay. Okay, now let's discuss the different uses of the present continuous. Okay, so part 2 now. Different uses of present simple. Now, the present simple has a variety of uses, and whenever we think about the convenient use, we have to use the present simple tense. One of the basic and most important use of the present simple is when we talk about our repeated and habitual activities or actions. So repeated and habitual activities or actions. Okay, for example, we say I wake up at 7 o'clock every morning. I wake up at 7 o'clock a.m. every morning. Okay, I wake up at 7 o'clock a.m. every morning. I'm talking about my repeated action. I'm talking about my habitual action. Every morning I wake up at 7 a.m. Then, normally you ask someone, what's your habit? Every day. You say, every day I wake up at 7 o'clock a.m. I brush my teeth, I get dressed. Okay, for example, then I go to work. Sometimes I have a shower, I take my breakfast, etc. Then I go to work. So look at the activity. The activity is repeated and is habitual. Okay, when we talk about habitual activities, it's not necessarily we are talking about an activity that is repeated every day. The activity could be repeated every week. It could be repeated every month, every year, or even we're talking about scientific events that happen every century. So when the activity happens every day, like this example, we call it a daily activity. And when the activity is repeated every week, we call it a weekly activity. When the activity is mainly repeated every month, here we are talking about monthly activity. Okay, now every year, here we're talking about a yearly activity or an annual activity. So when we talk about our daily activities, not necessarily talking about an activity that I do every day. We can talk about an activity that we can do every week. For example, I visit my grandparents at weekends, or talking about an activity that happens every month, like for example, I pay my school fees every month. Also, every year, when we talk about yearly or annual activities, for example, we say I spend my summer holiday in Marrakesh every summer or every year. Okay, so here is one of the basic use of the present simple tense is when we talk about an activity that happens regularly and habitually. Okay, another use of the present simple tense is when we talk about scientific and logical facts. Also, we call it a general truth. Okay, I clean and write the second use of the present simple. Okay, one of the basic and the fundamental use of the present simple is when we talk about scientific. So be scientific. We can also call it logical facts, or we can call it a general truth. So when we talk about scientific and logical facts, there are different examples that express the general truth. For example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's write the example. For example, water boils. You see the present simple. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, at 100 degrees Celsius. So here we are talking about a scientific fact. example is mainly scientific, is purely scientific. Another example is when we say, for example, the sun rises from the east. The sun rises from the east. Okay, here is another scientific and logical fact all around the world, because the scientific facts do not change anymore. They keep for even thousands and millions of years, do not change. For example, we can say 1 + 1 = 2. Also, when we talk about the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. Also, when we talk about water freezes at 32 degrees Celsius and the sun is 93 million miles from Earth. All these facts are scientific and logical. Also, when we talk about the Earth, we say that the Earth, scientists say that the Earth goes around the sun. You see, here is another scientific fact. So, the Earth goes around the sun. Okay, so this is the second and the basic use of the present continuous. We are talking about scientific facts. Okay, now another basic use is when we talk about definitions. Okay, or we can just put B. So C, talking about definitions. For example, we can say, if you ask about the definition of a vegetarian, and you say, who is a vegetarian? A vegetarian is the person who doesn't eat meat. Who is an archaeologist? An archaeologist is the person who studies human prehistory and objects of the people who lived in the past. Okay, so this is case number 3. Now, another use of the present simple tense is when we talk about when we want to express fixed arrangements or fixed timetables and schedules. So I clean the board, okay. Another basic use of the present simple is when we talk about fixed timetables and schedules. So D, okay, fixed timetables and schedules. Okay, so when we say a fixed timetables, for example, we say banks in Morocco open at 8:30 and close at 4:30. And when we talk about the British Museum, we say that the British Museum, example, the British Museum close. Okay, see, the British Museum closes at 4:30 every day. Okay, you see, another, when we talk about fixed timetables, and when we say the bus to London runs every half an hour. So another use of the present simple tense is when we want to give instructions. Giving instructions or directions is, we have to use the present simple tense for that reason. So E is giving instructions. Giving instructions, for example, when you have medicine at home, the doctor gives you an instruction, and you can even find the instruction written on the tablet itself. You say, keep the medicines away from the reach of children. For example, another instruction, open. Okay, now open the packet. You see, open. It's in the present simple tense. This is an instruction, is in the present simple tense. Open the packet and pour the content. You see, pour is also present simple tense. Okay, pour the content and pour the content in hot water. Yes. Okay. Finally is when we want to give directions. Giving directions, it's always used with the present simple tense. Like for example, when we say you walk 200 meters, then you turn left or you turn right. So we're giving directions also. Okay, for example, if I'm lost, I can ask you to show me the way. You say, please, can you show me the way to the bus station? You say, okay, you can go straight away, then you can, or you can take the first steps. Always is the present simple tense. So, for example, turn on the left and go straight. Okay, to the back. Okay, so turn and go. These are the present simple tense. Finally, we can use the present simple to talk about imperative sentences. For example, tidy your room and don't touch me. These are imperatives. We can just replace them. Is the last one is giving imperatives. For example, don't touch me. Don't touch me. You see? Okay. This is all about the different uses of the present simple tense. Now let's focus on the different uses of the present continuous. Okay? Okay, one of the basic use of the present continuous is when we talk about an action that is, or describing an action that is happening right now or at the time of speaking. Okay, clean noteboard. B, so part number 2, B, present continuous. Okay, B, present continuous. Various uses. Okay, one of the basic, as I told you just before, that the present continuous is basically used to talk about or to describe an action happening now. So to describe an action happening now. For example, right now I am explaining an English lesson and you are listening attentively. Okay, for example, right now I'm explaining the lesson. Right now, I'm explaining the lesson while you are listening attentively. While you are listening attentively. Okay, you can see that the action is taking place at the time of speaking. So automatically we can use the present continuous to talk about an action that takes place while I'm talking while. So another use of the present continuous is when we talk about future arrangement and plans. So second use is future arrangements and plans. For example, we say tomorrow I am visiting my grandparents, or when we say tonight I am watching my favorite TV program. We can ask someone so we can ask someone about his plan for tonight. Then you can say, what's your plan for tonight? He answered, tonight I'm watching my favorite TV program. Okay. I'm watching my favorite TV program. Okay, you see, this is a plan for the near future, and this is an arrangement and it's a plan. So we normally use the present continuous to talk about all our pre-arranged plannings in the future or in the near future. Finally, we use the present continuous to talk about a temporary situation or event. For example, and this is the last case, talking about temporary event or temporary actions. Okay, C or 3, temporary event or action. For example, we say, we can say that he always sits in the front rows, but actually, or right now, he is sitting at the back rows. Or I often drink coffee. Okay, I often drink coffee. Okay, so I often drink coffee every morning, but now I am drinking tea. So it is a temporary event. Drinking tea is a temporary event. What is usual is drinking coffee. For example, we can say that he usually plays the guitar, but actually he is playing the drums. There is an exception today, is drinking tea, but what is usual and what is frequent is drinking coffee. And this is all about comparing simple present and present continuous in terms of form and uses. Now we move to a very short exercise. Just we consider it an exercise to show you the difference in a clear image. Okay. Okay. I can go now. So the last part is a practice exercise. Part number 3. Is practice exercises. Okay, so exercise number 1. Okay, put the verbs between brackets in correct forms. Okay, so A. Okay, let's take an exercise. My father pay. Okay. My father pay electricity and water bill every month. B. It were to snow. You see? It snow in Ifran every winter. C. Look, the children do acrobatic exercises. Right now, we work to have exercises, continious. Finally, turn around the sun. Okay, we have another example. If tomorrow I were to visit or I were to meet my friends in the cafe. Okay, now look at the examples. Put the verbs, this is an exercise. Put the verbs between brackets in correct form. Put the verbs between brackets in correct forms. So what we have to focus and to pay attention more, you have to pay attention to the indicators. Like when we say every month, this shows that the activity is repeated, is habitual, it's regular. So my father, we replace it by subject pronoun he, means that we have to add an s. My father pays, see, my father pays, we add an s, electricity and water bill every month. Here we're talking about present, we're using the present simple because the activity is regular and is habitual. It's a habitual activity. Look at example 2. It were to snow in Ifran every winter. You see, even we're talking about an action that is repeated every winter. So the present simple again. So it snows in Ifran every winter. See, look, the children do acrobatic exercises. The word, the indicator or the time reference look expresses that the action is taking place at the time of speaking, so we use the present continuous. The children is a plural are doing acrobatic exercises. D, right now, see, right now we are having is a present continuous because we're talking about an action or describing an action that's going on at the time of speaking. We are having exercises on tenses. E, the earth turn around the sun. The earth, it's a scientific fact, it's a general truth, it's a logical fact, so we use the present simple tense. The earth turns around the sun. Finally, is example G. Tomorrow I meet my friends in the cafe. We're talking about my future arrangement and I'm talking about my future plan. So I use the present continuous. Tomorrow I am meeting my friends in the cafe. This is all about the present simple tense and the present continuous. I wish it was an interesting session for today, and I wish that you have learned a lot about both tenses. Wish you good luck and see you inshallah next time. Goodbye and thank you.